Okay, so we're trying something different this time because it's my channel and I can switch things up if I want to. But October is over. I did take part in NaNoWriMo. What? I have writing on the mind. I'm not even taking part in NaNoWriMo. I'm doing my own writing challenge. But October is over. Inktober is over. But I did take part in it this year. But I didn't share it. I think I only shared maybe 3 or 4 pictures. And then recently I shared my favorites from the challenge that I did. So I figured, why not share it with you guys? Granted, I did not win Inktober this year. Because A, it was my first Inktober that I've really taken part in a while. And B, this year for me, personally, I treated it as more of a personal challenge and experiment. Not necessarily something that I was going to intentionally share. This was just part of me treating art differently for myself. Instead of sharing it and putting it out into the world, I was doing it more for myself and more just to have fun with it, see what would happen, and try to approach things differently. Since this year I have been in a weird on and off creative funk, and recently I decided to step back from art. Treat it less like a job and treat it more like the hobby that it actually was for me, because I didn't realize that, oh yeah, art is more of a hobby for me. But I guess I just brainwashed myself enough into thinking I'm the art person that I just stuck with it. But that's a video for another day. I will go more in depth with that at some point. So, without further ado, let's get to showing the results of what I did get up to in Inktober. Get to Inktober. Here we go. As you can see, I made it up to coat, and I just gave up there. I was so stressed out, so just done with everything at that point because of work, stuff in life, anxiety, all of that. It was just too much for me to really be like, I need to sit down and focus on something else. So I just stopped and just fell behind on it for those last few days. But I got pretty far, so I will give myself that. And like I said, this is more of a personal challenge. So starting off, we got ring. I did do a lot of day combining. So there's not gonna be individual pictures for every single day, but for the most part, I had fun. It was an interesting challenge, and it was definitely a bit more freeing not to be posting these on social media and YouTube every day and only sharing my favorites. So starting off, we got ring. Initially when I drew it, I wasn't that big of a fan of how this turned out, but I actually really, really like how this looks. Especially with the blues in here. I dig that. Mindless, another one that I really liked. I believe at this point, this was either before or after a trip. Because at the time, for the first few days of Inktober, we were actually out of state, so I brought my sketchbook with me so I could keep up with it. And this is by far one of my favorites out of all the pictures. I think this is probably my top favorite. We have bait. I think, just from what I saw after drawing this, I think so many people went with anglerfish. It's just a collective thought, I guess, that when we think bait, we think anglerfish. And this one, I definitely... did I draw this one when we were out of state? No, yes, maybe, I don't remember. Either way, I had fun with this one too. These two would be my top 2 favorites out of all of them. And then this would be the first combo day of freeze and build. You know, this one, I just had no clue what to do. I was gonna do something completely different for freeze, but then I fell behind a day, and I was just like, you know what? I'm bored. Let's just put things together. I'm not completely happy with it, but I think it looks kind of cool. So I would say that one's a win. Husky, I'm gonna be honest, the idea was a lot better in my head. because I really love the Huskies. They look like they have eyebrows. And Huskies are like one of my favorite dogs, and I'm not completely happy with the execution of this one. And this one, everyone saw because I did the whole speed drawing video on here. I remembered afterward to fill in that sleeve. So you guys originally saw this with that spot not filled in, but this is another one of my top favorites from this whole challenge. Also, very proud of myself. I actually nailed drawing feet. I usually don't draw feet because I hate drawing feet, and I usually suck at drawing feet, but something just happened with this one, and they look amazing, and they look like actual feet, and I am proud of myself. Like, this was the biggest, like, advancement in my drawing skills, and I am so happy with that. Pattern, another one where I wasn't really happy with this one, because I really didn't know what to do for pattern. I just went with it. I'm gonna be honest, I kind of cheated and went back to this one because originally all I had was this and the word pattern. And I was just like, no, I need to add more to it if it's too empty. There's too much negative space. So I did kind of cheat and go back to this one to add more. Then snow, I wasn't ready to move on from October yet. There's just too much winter already coming into stores and too much Christmas out, and it was too early. I wasn't letting it go, so I gave the snowman a witch hat. And, oh man. I mean, I do love the way this looks, but at the same time, I was just like, no. This just reminded me of how much I hate how this year's going with Christmas decorations. Dragon, Trogdor. I had to do my own take on Trogdor. It was the first dragon I thought of. I couldn't pass up drawing the Burninator himself. A YouTube legend and icon. And I am 100% proud of how this turned out. Ash is another one of my favorites because I immediately thought of one of my favorite posts that I saw on Tumblr. So I was just like, I need to draw that. I need to draw my take on that. Because it was just the funniest thing. It always cracks me up whenever I see it. It's great. And this is another one where I'm just proud of myself. I am super proud of myself for attempting this. Because me and landscapes and environments of any sort usually don't turn out well. Because I usually don't have the patience for it. And I knew initially when I saw Overgrown, I was just like, I want to draw some sort of ruin. And I just went with it. And I am so glad that I didn't give up on this because I love how this turns out. I love how it looks. I love all the colors, the shading. Just the fact that it actually looks like it could be a place you could go to. It makes me happy, and I'm proud that I stepped out of my comfort zone for this one. And another combo day, Legend and Wild, and I was just like, you know what? The obvious route to go would be Breath of the Wild. So I did! And I really don't have much more to say on that one. Definitely my least favorite out of all of them. It was a combo day. I just wanted to get these two over with because I couldn't think of anything. So we have Broken Ornament. It's like the Misfit Ornament in all of them. And yeah, not happy with how the shading in there turned out. I'm not happy with just this whole thing in general. So we're moving on. This time I just decided to put both prompts on one page because why not? I went with a shoe tread and an obvious sling, but I'd say they're not bad. It's just very generic. Ooh, another one of my favorites. I love how Treasure turned out. And it really, really reminds me of one of my other pictures for what I like to call the wordplay pinups. And this very much reminds me of the treasure chest from The one for that booty, though. I love it. Ghost is just adorable. It's my favorite just because of how cute it is. Ancient, another one where I'm not completely happy. I'm gonna be honest. It's like, I sort of dig it, but I feel like it started off well and then just fizzled out. Dizzy, I actually really like this. Even though it's just a simple spiral, there's just something about it that I love. And yeah, this combo day, I kind of just... I cheaped it out. It's like, I went with the obvious. And I'm not proud of myself for it. And then the final day for me with this, because again, I did not win Inktober this year, coat. And I actually really like how it looks. This was one where I just kind of went with the flow, and I actually really dig the simplicity of it. Because usually I'm more into like full detail and all that, but I actually really love how this one turned out. I love the line weight. I just love it. It's simple, but looks cool and stylish and fresh, and I dig it. So yeah, that was my Inktober. It was a very interesting challenge for myself. It was definitely a lot more freeing not to be posting it every day and to be doing it more for myself and not necessarily for social media or for people to see. And I think that actually made things a lot more fun for me with this time around, because I have taken part in Inktober in the past and I just usually give up within the first few days because it's just like, I'm just not feeling it usually, and this time I just tried to push through it, and I'm glad I did, because even though I didn't win it, I got pretty damn far in it, and I'm proud with most of the results from it. Now, as for other videos on my channel, I do plan on making a more in-depth video on me and art this year, and me stepping back from art, and ignore how shaky my voice is. I'm just tired and just ugh. So my voice doesn't sound completely 100% today. But yeah, I'll make a video at some point going more in depth on me stepping away from art, treating it more as a hobby. Hopefully it'll result in more fun videos on here, because I'll be experimenting with a lot more things. I'll be allowing myself to not treat it as, oh, this is content, this is something I should be making to put out there. It's like, no, this is something I'm going to be making for me. It's going to be something I'm doing for fun. And it's something that I didn't realize was a hobby and a possible coping mechanism at some points in my life until fairly recently, looking back on my art journey and with my recent deep dive into writing. So yeah, I'll probably be bringing vlogs back more to this channel, like more like art related vlogs and stuff like that. But yeah, it's like what was gonna be what's gonna be my vlog channel is turning more into the writing channel, and art vlogs will occasionally be coming back to here. So yeah, so I don't know when I'll be posting next, but hopefully it'll be something fun, and hopefully it won't be like 3 months later. So if you guys are willing to stick around, I hope you do. Feel free to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you guys whenever the next video is. Yeah. Bye.